Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, I know I'm capable of so much more, but I just can't seem to make myself do it? It's a strange place to be, having dreams so big that they keep you awake at night, yet finding yourself stuck in the comfort of laziness, of procrastination, of excuses. Deep inside, you know you want to succeed, but every day passes, and success feels further away. If you've ever felt that tension between ambition and laziness, then listen closely. Because this story may sound a lot like your own life, and by the end, it might just be the push you've been waiting for. This is the story of a young man named Daniel. He grew up in Ohio, in a small town where most people lived simple, quiet lives. His parents worked hard. His father drove trucks across the state, while his mother worked at a diner from dawn till dusk. From a young age, Daniel's parents would tell him, "We want you to have more than we did. We want you to go further than us." And Daniel believed he would. He dreamed of being successful, of moving to a big city, of building a life that would make his parents proud. He had ambition, so much ambition. But there was one problem. Daniel was lazy. Not the kind of lazy where you sleep all day. No, it was worse than that. He had bursts of energy, bursts of motivation, but they never lasted. He would start something, get excited, but when the hard part came, when discipline was required, he would quit. He was full of unfinished projects, abandoned plans, and broken promises to himself. At first, it didn't seem too bad. In high school, he was smart enough to get by without much effort. He would procrastinate on assignments, then pull it together last minute, and still get decent grades. Teachers told him he had potential. His friends admired how confident he was. But Daniel knew, deep down, that he wasn't living up to anything. He was coasting on talent, not building discipline. By the time he reached college, things started to unravel. College wasn't like high school. The workload was heavier, the competition was stronger, and for the first time, Daniel couldn't just wing it. He skipped classes, stayed up late gaming, and told himself he'd catch up later. He wanted good grades, but he didn't want to put in the work. He wanted success, but he wasn't willing to suffer through the process. And slowly, his grades slipped. His dreams of graduating with honors, of landing a great job, they were slipping away too. But Daniel kept telling himself a story, the same story many of us tell ourselves. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll change next week. One day, I'll get serious. Tomorrow became next week. Next week became next semester. And before long, Daniel found himself at the end of college with nothing impressive to show for it. After graduation, he moved back to his hometown. His friends had landed jobs in the city, some were starting careers, a few even traveled abroad. But Daniel was still at home, working part-time at a hardware store, telling himself that this was just temporary. He would often say to people, "I have big plans. You'll see." But when people asked what those plans were, he never had a clear answer. One evening, sitting on the porch with his father, Daniel confessed what he felt. "Dad, I don't get it. I want success. I think about it every day. But when it comes time to act, I just don't. What's wrong with me?" His father, a man who had worked long hours his whole life without ever complaining, looked at him with tired eyes and said, "Son, wanting something isn't enough. Everybody wants success, but only a few are willing to sweat for it. You keep thinking ambition alone will carry you. It won't. You can have dreams as big as the sky, but if your feet are stuck to the couch, those dreams will rot in your mind." Those words stung. Daniel laughed it off in the moment, but he couldn't shake them. That night, lying in bed, he realized something he had never admitted to himself before. He wasn't unlucky. He wasn't a victim of circumstance. He was lazy, and his laziness was killing his dreams. Weeks passed, but Daniel didn't change right away. Old habits are hard to break. But life has a way of forcing turning points on us, moments when you can no longer hide from the truth. For Daniel, that moment came on a cold December morning. His friend Marcus, who had been his roommate in college, called him. Marcus was now working in Chicago, and he invited Daniel to visit. "Come out for the weekend," Marcus said. I'll show you the city. You'll love it. When Daniel arrived in Chicago, he was overwhelmed. The tall buildings, the busy streets, the people rushing with purpose. It felt like another world compared to his small town. Marcus took him to his office, a sleek, modern space filled with young professionals hustling, creating, pushing forward. Daniel watched Marcus confidently present an idea in a meeting, watched how his colleagues respected him, watched how his life was moving forward. And Daniel felt something heavy in his chest. It was jealousy, but also shame. That night, back at Marcus's apartment, Daniel confessed, "Man, I feel like I'm stuck. I want what you have. I want a life that's going somewhere. But I don't even know where to begin." Marcus looked at him and said, "The difference between you and me isn't intelligence. You're just as smart as I am. The difference is consistency. I built habits. You avoided them. And now, those small habits have built my future. And your lack of them has left you standing still." That conversation hit Daniel like a punch. He couldn't stop thinking about it on the train ride back home. For the first time, he saw clearly. His laziness wasn't harmless. It had cost him years. It had cost him opportunities. It was costing him his future. And that was the turning point. When Daniel got home, he made a decision. Not a vague promise like before. This time, it was clear. I will build discipline, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. I will stop waiting for motivation, and I will start acting even when I don't feel like it. The next morning, he woke up early, not because he wanted to, but because he forced himself. He made a schedule. He wrote down small daily goals. He started applying for jobs, not just once in a while, but every day. He went to the gym, even when he hated it. He read books instead of scrolling endlessly on his phone. At first, it was miserable. He wanted to quit 100 times. But every time, he remembered his father's words, Marcus's success, and the pain of wasted years. That pain fueled him. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And slowly, something shifted. He began to notice changes, not just in his body, not just in his routine, but in his identity. He was no longer the lazy dreamer. He was becoming someone else, someone reliable, disciplined, moving forward. Eventually, Daniel landed a job at a marketing firm in the city. It wasn't glamorous at first. He started at the bottom, doing tasks nobody wanted. But he worked hard. He showed up early. He stayed late, and people noticed. Within a year, he was promoted. Within 3 years, he was leading a team. And within 5 years, he had built the kind of career that once felt impossible. Looking back, Daniel realized something powerful. Ambition without action is nothing. Dreams without discipline are just fantasies. The gap between who you are and who you want to be is built brick by brick through small, consistent actions. And laziness, no matter how harmless it feels in the moment, is a thief. It steals your time, your potential, and your future. Now, let me ask you, where are you in this story? Are you like Daniel before the turning point? Ambitious but lazy, full of big dreams but waiting for motivation to magically appear? Or are you ready to become the Daniel after, the one who chose discipline over comfort, who built a life instead of just imagining one? Because the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to drag you off the couch and force you to build the life you want. That's your job. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But so is regret. So is watching years slip away while you tell yourself, one day, I'll start. Don't wait for one day. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, or the perfect plan. Start now. Take one small step today, then another tomorrow. Build the habits, build the discipline. And soon, you'll look back and realize that the lazy version of you is gone. And in their place stands someone stronger, someone capable, someone who finally turned ambition into reality. So, if you've been ambitious but lazy, let Daniel's story be your wake-up call. Stop dreaming about the life you want. Start building it. Because ambition without action is a tragedy. But ambition with discipline, that can change everything.